Tim, how you doing, man?
Doing phenomenal. How you doing, brother?
Today's a special day for you, Tim.
That's right. It is. Today is the day that I have met. I've passed 35 days with my goat attack, man. Come on now.
Today is the day that Tim was born.
No, actually, tomorrow.
It's tomorrow. I thought it was the 14th. Are you serious?
It's tax day. Did you believe that stuff, Ben?
It's today. Yes. How you doing? Happy birthday, Tim.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Always. Yeah. So tomorrow's the big day.
All right. Well, happy birthday tomorrow. I got that wrong, but
enough, brother. No, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate you remembering.
Yes, sir. So how you doing, man?
Dude, I'm doing phenomenal, but I have to start out and ask you a really crazy question, okay? You know, what's the difference between a real estate agent and a loan officer?
There's a lot of differences. So I'll tell you the story. So I was at Tim's office the other day helping him set up a studio. We're not there yet. That's why he's still in his office and I'm in my old studio. But probably next week we'll have a new studio. And I was helping move a desk out of one of his offices into the other one, and we came outside, and the lady whose desk I was getting was standing out there, and she asked me if I own a 7-Eleven. And then Tim said, bro, you're wearing 7-Eleven shoes.
Wow.
And she sincerely thought I owned a 7-Eleven. Like, do you own it? She asked me 3 times, do you own a 7-Eleven? And Tim just gave me this look like, why are you wearing 7-Eleven? Why does your shoes say 7-Eleven?
So describe them, Brian.
Well, I'll tell you the whole story, but I'm just gonna say, like, the assumption was that I had bought my 100th coffee, and then you just get a pair of shoes, right? So to tell the whole story, so when I was a kid, grew up in Calvert County, we had limited stores, and there was a joke in our family that my father never passed a 7-Eleven because he smoked Winston Lights soft pack and he drank 7-Eleven coffee, I don't know, 3 times a day or whatever it was, but we never passed a 7-Eleven. And he would never buy a carton, he would never buy 2 packs. It was 1 pack at a time. Right. It was probably a pack and a half a day. So we were at 7-Eleven at least twice a day. So I would say I spent my childhood in 7-Eleven. There was no Wawa. We didn't really go to gas stations for that because it was like, if you're going to get cigarettes, you might as well go to 7-Eleven and get a cup of coffee. Right. And we were always up and down Route 4 at all the 7-Elevens. So I grew an affinity for 7-Eleven coffee. And then over the winter this past year, sitting around, it's freezing cold, nothing to do, I have an 11-year-old Presley and a 9-year-old Karis, and I came up with this idea that I would give them $5 and we would go to 7-Eleven and they could buy whatever they want in 7-Eleven, and I made it this big event. So as we were driving there, I would always say, like, guys, guess where we're gonna go today? Like, I always tell the kids all the time I'm buying them a pony. Like, if they're sad, I'm like, do you want me to get you a pony? I'm gonna get you a pony for your birthday. It's kind of just a joke, I exaggerate everything. So I told them we're going to take them to the greatest place on earth, and they're guessing, and it's like, we're 7-Eleven. So then it became like a joke in our family that the 7-Eleven is the greatest place on earth. So the last time we were headed there, I said, Karis, how would you describe 7-Eleven if somebody asked you? She goes, Dad, there's no sadness there. There's only happiness. It's literally the greatest place that ever has been created. I would rather go there than Disney World. So now... So every week we would go to 7-Eleven, plus like in between. Like I probably go to 7-Eleven at least every other day. And they're always with me. They love it. So with that said, my eldest daughter, Madison, who's getting ready to turn 19 this month, kept saying that she had the greatest birthday present for me ever. And I don't like when people hype up presents because I'm not super materialistic, and like I don't, whatever it is that I really am into, I already have it basically. All my fishing rods and everything, my car. So she just kept hyping this up. And on my birthday, they come down. Everyone's standing around watching me open this as if like I'm going to open up like a puppy or something. Like it's going to be the greatest thing ever. And I'm like, I'm so upset because I feel like I'm going to be nothing but a disappointment when I open this. And then I open it up, and this is what I got right here. Some 7-Eleven Crocs, and these are official there's a collaboration between 7-Eleven and Crocs. And again, like, Tim thought that these were like, you buy 5 coffees, you get some rubber shoes for free.
Points, man, exactly.
Doesn't know these are like $100 right now to buy these because they do a limited collaboration, and that's it. And then the other lady that worked at his office thought I owned a 7-Eleven, and that's why I'm just like a brand whatever for 7-Eleven. And it made me rethink wearing 7-Eleven shoes. Like, is this really the message that I want to give out? You know, I think it's confusing to people. Why does this man have 7-Eleven shoes on? Does he own one? Does he work there? Is he a fan? Does he just like, did he buy a bunch of coffee and get one for free? I don't know. To me, it was the coolest birthday gift I've gotten in a long time. So that's the story with the 7-Eleven shoes.
Which I think kind of leads into the idea of branding. I mean, what an amazing brand, Brian. You know what I mean? And it shows you had an amazing experience, right? That you have remembered as a kid, and you passed it on to your children. That's wild, man. It really is.
Yeah, 7-Eleven. You know, we had this conversation the other day. 7-Eleven, Wawa, Sheetz, and what's the other one? I can't remember. We were debating on like what's the best gas station. And, you know, 7-Eleven doesn't have all what Wawa has, and they don't make food, except for they opened one at Lexington Park that's under this new model where they're doing that. But, you know, 7-Eleven coffee is just a winner. I drink a lot of coffee. I'm drinking coffee right now. I go to 7-Eleven quite a bit. I have so many, I'll tell you the other thing, when I go to 7-Eleven, I never, ever, ever use my points. I don't know why. It's like, I feel like they're going to reset my points, and I'm going to go back this year and be super upset. But I save up all my points. I have like 10,000 points. So when you go to the cash register, it asks if you would like to use your points to pay for your stuff, because at this point I could probably buy like 5 pizzas or whatever and you know, cater an event with the amount of points I have. And I always say no. And then I tell the cashier I'm saving up my points for the jet skis. And it goes over just like that right there. It just goes over just like that every time. And they don't even think it's funny at all. But I'm going to keep using that joke. I use it at Ace Hardware too. So I have a bunch of points at Ace Hardware. Sure. I said I'm saving up for the jet skis, and then they just look at me, and I don't know if they don't get the joke. They don't want to ask if I'm crazy. Like, I mean, what do you think when you're the cashier and someone's saving up for the jet skis? Like, do you think maybe there's jet skis? Is he serious? What? You know what I mean? I don't know.
I think they're asking themselves, they don't want to look stupid, like, oh, he's saving up for the jet skis. Dude, this guy's on top of his game. Or they think, this guy is crazy. I don't want to push this any farther.
Right. I don't want to start a conversation with this guy. Yeah, that could be it too, right? But in my mind, they think I'm funny. They just don't want to laugh. I don't know. But yeah, I'll keep trying that joke. One day someone's going to laugh. I did catch one lady who wanted to know if Ace Hardware really has jet skis, and yeah, then I laughed at her, and she didn't think that was funny. So I don't know. It's not working out.
You're doing great, man. You're doing great. Well, tell me, what's the spring market, man? Is it a boom or a bust? What are you seeing, man? What's going on?
I think it's a boom and a bust at the same time.
Agreed completely.
Yeah, because if you're in it and you're selling your house, it's a bit of a boom. Like, big picture, wide angle lens, past 50 years or whatever to sell your house right now, it's a boom.
Contracts.
Sometimes.
Dude, it's I'll tell you what, that's a gold mine, man. You got a listing, you pop it in, it's running. But I feel bad for the buyers, because the buyers are still strapped. They're strapped for cash. You know, the asking price is $325, and there's 15 offers, $375.
We're not. I don't know if we're quite. I mean, are you seeing that? You're seeing $315 to $375. I feel like the realtor underpriced that house if that happened. Because
I have had, and I'm no exaggeration now, probably. And by the way, you're going to laugh when I tell you this. I've had 10 offers that I've worked up numbers for. None of them have been for full price. They've always been above price.
Wow.
We've been in a multiple offer. That's that 300 to 400,000 sweet spot. You know what I mean? That's the challenging marketplace. Here's something I got to tell you. Okay, ready? King George, double wide trailer, 3 acres, $299 asking price.
I mean, is it a real nice brand new one? Like, and is it like on a pond? The 3 acres? Like, do you have like horses and
no.
like?
I'll I'm talking about a nice lot, but I mean, like nothing crazy. $299. My client did not win their offer. They offered $325, no closing help. Did not win the offer.
Wow.
So that tells you what's going on. So really, anybody in that, I call it the affordability range, which is kind of, you can find something for 250 to 400. Dude, that's a tough market, man, for a buyer. It really is. Unless they're using like the Maryland Mortgage Program or one of the down payment assistance. It's hard, brother. It really is, man, from that perspective.
I'm actually texting a guy right now, found my number on the internet, and he said that I'm active duty member, buying a new townhome in Harford County. I've been looking for closing cost assistance. Can't find any info.
Maryland Mortgage Program.
They want me to use, I had to use the builder's mortgage company. I'm looking for help with closing costs.
Tell them to tap into the Maryland Mortgage Program. See that's.
I'm gonna have them call Tim is what I'm doing, but I'm just working it, right? So the thing is, when you're working with a builder, is he even gonna be able to use it? He'll probably lose, but they got rid of a lot of their incentives anyway, right? Like they don't split transfers, so.
No, they don't.
Yeah.
Do you really? I mean, so what's that tell you? Well, you've got to have someone who really knows what they're doing when you're going to work with a buyer. So let's just call it what it is, because it is out there. You've got to be. I tell people, what's the dream, and then how do we get there, right? What's the goal? And I'll give you a couple ideas, and this is something that people are starting to think about. I've got clients that are making offers, but now they're realizing, you know what? Maybe it's not the perfect house. And I'm going to do an addition afterwards, or I'm going to do like an FHA 203K, or I'm going to do, a program that's going to allow me to expand the house. So I'll buy the home, it's the lot, it's the school district, right? But now I can kind of make it fit it my dream, what I'm looking for. And I think that's kind of the creativity we have to have today, man.
You're saying you're going to have to settle because houses are super expensive right now and there's not a lot to buy from. So take it or leave it, sir.
Well, and Brian, I'll take it. We have the March statistics, right? The housing statistics for the state of Maryland. And
yeah. So what's the deal? What's the numbers?
Well, we're down in units 27% because there's nothing out there for sale, but values are still going.
Yeah. So, but let's just do a little context on 27%. Last year it was down a big percent too. So it's like it's based on the year before, and yet last year was a struggle. So, well, it wasn't really at this time of year. It wasn't. It was like March it was on fire last year.
March was just starting to get into a little bit of a struggling market.
It didn't really get canceled until June when they raised rates past 5.5%.
Yeah, when that happened, and you know what the Fed's just announced, right? Okay, they said, hey, we still see the need for continuing increasing the interest rate.
They lied to us, Tim.
Yeah.
They lied. They said they were going to stop doing that.
You know what? That's okay, brother. We'll see what they end up doing. I've seen a couple people say they're only going to raise them a quarter, which would be nice. Have anything aggressive? Just depends, right?
That'll be 10 in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough out there. But you know what? Like Tim said, it's a good reality check. You got to look and see.
Yep.
One of the things that I find with people that haven't taken that step of talking to Tim is like they're basing everything on the last time they bought a house. Like, well, if they want to keep my payment like $3,000, probably like $500-600K. I'm like, oh,
It's gonna be hard to do, man.
yes, called it. Depends on how many 100,000 you're putting down, sir.
Right, exactly. There's some factors involved. One other thing, Brian, that made me realize I had clients who were looking to move up, and they're struggling with with the new payment, right? Until they said, what if I rented out my current home? Brian, rent. Dude.
Yeah. Well, and that's another that's a tricky one. I was looking the other day at rentals. Like, as long as you're looking to stay under 2,500 max, like, because here's the thing now. It's like, well, if I bought a house last year, my payment's 3,500, 3,800.
Right.
That's going to be a little tricky to get anything over $2,500 or $3,000 a month, unless you have something spectacular that somebody's willing just to kind of like dip really heavy into to do it.
Or you do a vacation rental.
Yeah, you could do a vacation rental. You could do a house hack where you rent the upstairs and the downstairs separately, rent all the rooms out separately, if you want to deal with all that. But that, on some level, becomes a part-time job, especially if you're going to like an Airbnb where you got someone coming in every day or every other day. and you gotta like swap out the linens and clean the house. Like that does become a thing. It is lucrative and it is a one way to do what you want to do, but you got to be willing to do what you got to do. Like that's a comfort level that like I think you and I have, but maybe not everybody has. I will tell you that after researching, the technology is such that it's not as hard as what people think. You don't have to go to the house, and you can use an app to hire cleaners, and the renters pay for the cleaning and all that. It's not the end of the world, but it does have some risk involved with it too. So but I would say yeah. And well, let me ask you this, Tim. So if somebody does Airbnb their house,
right,
without a lease, are you allowed to offset the income on a new mortgage?
No. So you can't.
No.
You got a good point, Brian. So we have to be able to count. They have to be able to qualify carrying both loans, but that's just an option. People look at all the different options. My point is, you got to think outside of the box, right? No longer is it this little magic number. So you got to look at your creativity, man. You got to look at what's out there.
So let me ask you this, Tim. Like in the real estate world, you talk to like tons of realtors. I talk to a few realtors. You talk to tons. What is the vibe right now? Is it like blood in the streets? Is it like I'm panicking, I'm foreclosing on my house? Is it like we're going to be fine? Is it like what's the vibe?
Well, that's a really good point.
I mean, obviously everybody's situation is different, but I'm just saying overall, like you've been talking to. I mean, Tim probably talks to 30 or 40 or 50 realtors every week, sometimes probably more than that. And then you go to events and you meet people, and you also know a lot of the movers and shakers. The big heavy hitters. You're friends with a lot of agents and some lenders probably. What is the vibe right now?
So the vibe right now is it's a seller's market, that there's a severe sense of urgency. Like I get a call this morning. I got a call at 6:30. Can you run me numbers? We want to make an offer at 9. I'm like, 6:30, I'm walking the dog. I'm just telling you what I'm at.
Are you kidding? Somebody called Tim Murphy at 6:30. Tim, come on.
Dude,
come on.
On the phone, brother.
Are you kidding me?
And check it out, right? 6:30, and then I'm looking at my numbers here, and I'm thinking to myself, okay. And then I get a 1019.
Let me pause for a moment, and let me just go ahead as somebody who has a little experience. Yeah. I'm going to predict in my little genie ball. We haven't had this conversation. This situation is not going to work out. They're not going to get. I'm predicting that the situation isn't working out.
Well, here's the thing. You're going to laugh. This is another double wide trailer. This one's in Lucas Grove.
Okay, but is it going to work out? Are they buying it?
They're going to buy it, yeah. Because
they won the offer?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
So they made an offer, and then the customer, the asking price was $325. The client came back and said, hey, can you run me numbers on that same house for $350 or $360? Right.
But they're getting it. So I was wrong. I'm not psychic, apparently, unfortunately. Well, fortunately, right? So I'm not psychic.
It's going to the highest and best offer.
And are you that?
I don't know yet, man. I just want them to get a house at this point in time, man. It's rough out there, brother. It really is.
Let me ask you this. If we're having multiple offers, what is the advantage of 6:30 in the morning? Okay, let me just send a little message to whoever's calling Tim at 6:30 in the morning. Listen, like if there's going to be multiple offers, 6:30. If you get your offer in first of all, just like a little free tip, okay? First of all, you probably don't want to send your offer in until you know how many offers there are. So my suggestion is call the listing agent, find out when the offer deadline is, get the buyer prepared for worst case scenario, get some kind of an idea on how many offers there are now, how many do you think are coming in, and then before you send your offer, find out how many offers there actually are. Because if you're the only offer, you write one offer. If there's 2 offers, you write a different offer, and there's 7 offers, you write a different offer, right? I mean,
that's a good point. No,
come on.
But they wanted to be like first in line.
I know, but what's the advantage of being first in line? And I'm not being rude. I mean, I'm probably just being a little like harsh. But like, why 6:30 in the morning, Tim? Come on.
The house came on the market last night. Okay, I'm going to tell you what time it came on the market. It had been on the market last night like 4 hours. They're already making an offer. They have it, and they're driving to the house to see it. They want to be able to give an offer in hand when they get to the house.
Not a good strategy, Tim. Not a good strategy. Okay,
Right.
I'm just saying, and again, I don't know everything. I'm just gonna say my personal opinion is not a good strategy. If you're the only person involved, it is a great strategy. But if you know there's other people involved,
well,
it's a terrible strategy.
we don't know that
Good.
yet. Right? That's
Okay.
So yeah, but
All
still,
right.
that tells
Well,
us
listen, I will say this. A, for effort. I love the aggressiveness. I love the... But come on, man. Don't call Tim at 6:30 in the morning. Tim needs to sleep. He needs to be well rested. He needs to spend time with his family in the morning so he can be sharp, so he can close our loans. All right? So everybody just chill.
There you go, man. But so it is a seller's market again. It's busy. Multiple offers at least up to the 400 range. 500 to 700 still moving. I think the higher end still struggling, to be honest with you. That's one area that.
Yeah, that's my price range. All my stuff has always been like 5 to 7, and they're not flying. But the other thing is, I do get them pre-appraised, and I do push the number really high. So my goal is always get top dollar, right? BrianSoldIt.com. There you go. But yeah, so I'm seeing quite a few showings still. Surprisingly, I have a 600. I have two 600K listings, give or take, right in the Owings, North Beach, Chesapeake Beach area that are really nice, that are getting visibility. But there's no one who showed up at 6:30 in the morning with an offer. So I will say that.
Well, they wanted me to run numbers and send a letter right now.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So happy birthday tomorrow, Tim. You got any big plans for your big birthday?
Yeah, I'm actually going to work with the goats tomorrow.
I would shoot a goat for my birthday. That'd be my birthday present, would be to take the goat to the top of the hill and shoot it, and we would eat it for dinner. Like, can't you eat goat?
No. They're my landscapers. Come on, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what do you do with them when you're ready for to harvest them? Do you harvest them, or you just keep them around forever? No, you just keep them around forever.
No,
I know they eat trash. I mean, I don't know if I want to eat one, but I thought that's why you had them, was to eat them. You don't have them. Do you get milk from them? Do you milk them?
No, they're landscapers. Come on, man.
And they eat trash, right? Do you take all your old food and throw it out in your front yard and they just eat it?
I'll be honest with you, the chickens will go after that, man. Come on.
Okay.
The chickens will go after the leftovers, number one.
Well, I mean, I'll tell you, I've never eaten goat until I went to Haiti right after that earthquake.
Oh, wow.
And I was there like 60 days after. I don't want to get into the whole story, but I can just tell you this: when you fly over Haiti, there's no farms, there's no cows, no crops. You're like, okay. And then then when you get there, there's a trash issue. They don't have any trash service in Haiti. It's just third world country.
Wow.
So trash is everywhere, and that's where I learned what I just said. The goats eat all the trash. That's the lawnmower. That's the landfill in Haiti, is the goats. And then for dinner we had goat, and I was like, where'd y'all get this goat from? You know what I mean? Yeah, I just saw that thing with a head inside of a trash barrel, and we're probably eating it, but whatever. You know what I mean? So I don't know. So I've had goat. Maybe you haven't. It's not great, but if you put enough hot sauce on it, you can get it down. All right.
You're hungry. You're going to do it. And what's that tell you? We are in the best country in the world. Go back to the whole story, man. Right?
Amen.
We're truly blessed. So
we are.
What? April market, bust or boom or bust. I don't care. Just get up every day, put my shoes on, put my pants on, and get out there and rock it, brother.
It's a little bit of a boom. If you want to buy a house and you got a good realtor, you can still buy one. If you want to sell your house, you can definitely sell your house. It's just a lot. It's a lot fewer houses on the market. The thing killing all of us, again, we've harped on this a million times. The interest rates are too high for anybody to be motivated to sell their house for any other reason than absolutely have to sell my house, or I own it in cash and I'm going to Florida. That's the people selling their house right now.
I think you nailed it right there, man. That is it. It is a little crazy. But you know what? We're going to survive, right? We always do. We'll make it happen.
Yes, sir.
There you go.
Well, good to see you, brother. Happy birthday.
I appreciate that, man. We're going to have a good one. And you know what? Get out there and kill it. All right?
Yes, sir.
All right, man. I'm with you.